Miss what?
Here we are, people, the semifinals of the PBA, and we are up against Ryno and his Delaware Dittos. Once again, a coach from the scary Iron Moth division. And yeah, just like the last opponent, like I said, all of the Iron Moth division contestants made it into the playoffs, in the second round of playoffs, to better said. And yeah, now we have to squash another one, and this time we actually face for the third time goddamn Fluttermane. So yeah, that's a pretty funny thing. Like on our whole PBA career, we faced a lot of Fluttermane so far. One loss versus who was it again? Versus, let me check real quick. Versus Matt Dr. Slacking in this regular season, then versus Ellie in the playoffs, and now versus Ryno in the playoffs once again. But he does have a scary team behind the Fluttermane. This time the Fluttermane is a Zimon as well, so we have to prepare for that. But like I said, we have some good training already into you guys for how to face Fluttermane, so I think we can deal with that. The rest of the team is Excalibur, Cloudsire, Slowking, Lucario, Kingambit, Mousehold, Dorantes, Spidops, Donphan, and the Reboot. Only Zmon is the Fluttermane, so if you worry about that, Flutter Fairy. It's Flutter Fairy or Flutter Fire, and yeah, we have to deal with that accordingly, because of the Flutter Fire Handyman, you're not as strong anymore with the Bullet Punch, but then Blueberry, of course, can hit it super effectively with the Aqua Jet. So yeah, going already a little bit over the strategy we prepared for this match. We trained the last week extensively, since if we do win this match, they are only one win away for our championship. So that is the plan, that's what we want to go for. So let's go over the strategy for this match. First of all, of course, we do have you, Le Table, mainly Fist Death, a little bit of bulk, and you're here to deal with mainly the Excalibur, which can be a physical threatening mon for sure. You resist the ice moves, the dragon moves you take pretty well, since you are so physically bulky. With the body press, with the ice spinner, with the red spinner, recover pretty standard set. Can't hit the Slowking too well, so yeah, not at all basically. So we have to worry about that, of course, getting some good switches into that in our other mons. But other than that, all its physical threats, mainly the Excalibur is the one, because the other physical threats are the Kingambit and Lucario. Of course, they have stab, super effective steel moves, but you still take pretty well, since you do have such high fist def, and with body press you do massive damage to everything offensively, and then Ice Spinner just a secondary stab. So mainly there for the Excalibur, a little bit for Lucario and Kingambit, but yeah, then enough speed def investment so you can 1v1 heal versus Slowking at least, so the surf doesn't do over 50%. So yeah, you can at least do that. Of course, you won't be able to 1v1 with just ice and fighting moves. Then next up, once again we face a Fluttermane. We have to figure out something else again. We don't have Terra Knuckle Stack anymore. Last time we brought Assault Vested Arboliva. This time we bring Snacklehead again, but this time without the Terra Poison, just Max Bedef with the Salt Cure, Heavy Slam, Stare from Recover. Since we by now are pretty sure that opponents don't want to bring choice specs versus us, this Max Bedef Knuckle Stack with the Violet can still take out all the hits for which we want to throw it as. Heavy Slam does like 70 to 80%, so basically all the damage. Salt here, of course, we know what that does. We want Rocks, of course, and Recover. And yeah, just with the good physical defense set of base 100, Knuckle Stack, you should be able to take a lot of physical hits, and of course with Max Bedef take all the Spidef hits, and you are going to be an annoying wall for a lot of mons. Be it the Rodent, be it the Slowking, they can't really deal with you, and Salt Cure does just way too much damage to all of those. Of course, stuff like Lucario and the Kingambit don't want to switch into Salt Cure as well, since it does do 25% to those, since they are steel type. So yeah, Knuckle Stack is just going to be a huge nuisance for the opponent, and that's what they want to capitalize on with you. So yeah, you are there to check the Fluttermane defensively. A lot of other special ones he has as well, like for example the we get over the Donphan, Slowking. These are mainly the other special attacking mons. Mousehold, you of course resist the population bomb as well, in case that should happen. But Le Table, of course, is that better check for that as well, since we have body press to just oko that thing. So you two are going to be our defensive backbone, our four-legged, square, or basically, flat guys. You're going to deal with the mons offensively or defensively, the offensive mon of my opponent. Now for the more offensive lineup, we go with you, Blueberry. Like I said, we need you with the Aqua Jet, so you can potentially revenge kill a Fluttermane which terrored into fire. So that's why you have the Aqua Jet, and then player of an Ice Spinner. Since you don't really need a strong water move and liquidation, something like that, player is just overall super spammable versus team. The only resistance, of course, the Cloudsire, which could be water absorbed, so that's why we have the Ice Spinner to hit that. And other than that, the other resist is reboot, which is not really resist, or potentially Filament once it Terrat. So yeah, Aquajet is of course great for those. And then last move, we have to go a little bit of spice. We do have leftovers on you as well, so you can recover versus the Slowking, but mainly to 1v1 the Slowking, because if it's Fist Def, our player doesn't do over 50%, especially since we do not have fully attack invested. We have a good amount of speed as well. We do have Copycat on you. Copycat, of course, copies the last used move, and if we are in a 1v1 situation where we like stalling, Slowking a little bit out, since of course Slack Off doesn't have that much PP anymore, so we can repeatedly go for players, and so we don't lose that 1v1 matchup. We have Copycat, so once he goes for Slack Off, we can go for Copycat, copy the Slack Off, and just heal ourselves as well, and just stall him out of Slack Offs basically, and win the 1v1 overall, because if once Slowking has no Slack Offs anymore, and he notices what we are doing, and he has to switch out versus our Azumarill, nothing wants to take the player off. Player is just super strong with this team, especially from a huge power mon like you, Blueberry. So that's why you have the Copycat. So even if Slowking comes in, it won't be staying in for long, since we just 1v1 it slowly, heal as well once he heals, and we just do way more damage to him. Even with Psychic or Future Sight, he doesn't do too much, since Blueberry is very bulky, and that's the plan with you. Then next up, we have Terra Steel Handyman with U-turn, Bullet Punch, Close Combat, Sword Stance. A little bit more of a bulky set with leftovers as well, so you can potentially, always switch into Cloudsire, because Cloudsire is pretty annoying with toxic stuff versus our team. Don't want to deal with that, and Earthquake, of course, which has our Neckle stack for good damage, which couldn't be toxic. But with the leftovers, so we can heal a little bit versus that, and like enough Fist Def Bulk, so we can use the setup fodder. Because even though the Flutter Main could Terra Fire versus us to revenge kill us, once we get like 2+2 or +4 even Terra Steel, it does way too much damage to it. And with the rest of the coverage, we deal with the rest of the team. Close Combat, of course, there for the King Gambit. It is there for the Lucario potentially. And U-turn, of course, for momentum, but Bullet Punch priority and the Aquajet priority are going to be our main ways to win. Scizor, of course, you were the win condition in a lot of our matches. So far, the MVP of our team, honestly, especially in the playoffs, seeing the last 2 matches, and I hope you can do something similar again. And even it be it just to scare the Fluttermane into terraing, so Blueberry can deal with it. But that's why we are Terra Steel, not Terrified, to deal with the Fluttermane potentially, because just Fluttermane doesn't have good Fist Def. So even with a little boost and then the Terra Steel boost, we just break through it either way, even if it is a fire type. Then, next up, we got Choice Scarf Paul with us with Close Combat, Double Shock, Baton Pass, and the Revival Blessing once again with Volt Absorb as well. Since, spoiler alert, flop, you're gonna hit the bench. We don't have a ground type on our team. Rodent Fan could be a mon which comes with our squad, because it is good versus our Handyman potentially. And we don't want to spam electric move versus us, so that's why we have the Volt Absorb potentially if it's a choice variant. And then Close Combat, Double Shock, just as overall good moves. Double Shock, of course, with the Choice Scarf. Once again, every time we face a Flutter Main, we bring Choice Scarf Paul, because with the Double Shock, you do massive damage to that. Close Combat, like I already mentioned, good with a lot of mons, like the Lucario, like the Bishop stuff, not the Bishop, the King Gambit. And then Baton Pass, since he does have the Cloudsire, and if you want momentum versus that, I want to Baton Pass out of there, potentially get our Scizor in, potentially get our Blueberry in, and put on offensive pressure with those guys, since these are, I think, mainly the mons which I can do to them having leftovers. I can switch in repeatedly and put on pressures on the late game. Potentially my Handyman can sweep, or even Palmon with Choice Scarf if the Rise mons are weakened. And then, of course, last but definitely not least, we got another offensive mon which I have to click on here, which is U-Def with the Overheat, Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, and Psychic, just heavy duty boots. Offensive speedy. You, of course, good like Palmot as well for the King Gambit. Even if a lot of mons should die, they both resist the Sucker Punch, they are faster, and they have the moves to OHKO the King Gambit, so that thing cannot be a threat versus us, because that's a super scary mon. If too many mons die, it just ends up being a huge nuisance, and being able to resist the dual stab is just way too useful. And of course, with the moves we have Everyone's team for massive damage. The best check potentially could have is the Cloudsire, but if that's unaware, we can keep completely spamming Overheat versus that, and Psychic still does good amount to that, and on that, no really good switches. Everything gets OHKO to 2 or something like that. That's where Def is for, but that's basically the strategy for this match. Use our offensive leftovers mons to switch it into a more passive mon, speed Slowking the Cloudsire, and put a massive offensive pressure on them, and potentially win in late game with be it the Scarfed Palmot, be it or Priority Mons in Azumarill and Scizor. And of course then Snagglehead and Letable, you are there as our defensive backbone, be able to switch into the moves and scare the offensive mons out, lure in the more defensive mons, which we can then capitalize on with our already mentioned mons. So that's the strategy for this match. Let's see how it goes. Let's head to the field. Let's show what we can do. Borussia Donphan on 3. 1, 2, 3. Borussia Donphan. Okay, here we are, semifinals. Fluttermane, of course, is on the squad. The Mousehold. No, the Rotom thing is a bit surprising, but the rest is fine. But Rotom makes sense as a check to Scizor, which could be a problem otherwise. Then, of course, the Bishop Big Boy, Slowking, of course, and the Mousehold. No backs, but makes sense as well. My team is prepared for backs. Okay, so lead-wise. Rotom could lead. I am Volt Absorb this time on you, so he can't just freely Volt Switch on me. If Rotom is the lead, what do I want to lead with? Probably Snagglehead. Just get up rocks. Sword Cure something. Because you bad with Rotom. Oh, you're decent with Rotom, I guess. You're bad with Rotom. You're bad with Rotom. You could be good with Rotom as well. But would he lead? Mousehold could be annoying lead as well. But then I can switch. Actually, I want to lead with you. Because you just... Barring he leads with the Clodsire, you're just a great lead. I expected a Rotom lead. Since he sees I don't have a ground type, he might be inclined to lead with a Rotom. So I want to make use of that and try to catch the Rotom with a super offensive mon right from the start and put on the pressure. That's the plan. Like I said, if he leads Clodsire to get up hazards, could be a viable thing as well. Wouldn't be too great. Definitely wouldn't be too great. But I'm willing to take the risk. Because I think the gain is just so much more than the loss. Because I have switches into Clodsire. I do have switches into Clodsire. What do we see? We see Windy. Windy is the Rotom. Okay, that worked out. Great. That worked out exactly as planned. Can it will with me? I should be faster barring his Scarf. And honestly, I can just throw up straight up Psychic. I can just throw up straight up Psychic. He hard switches out, so most likely not Scarf. If Clodsire is switching, I catch it with Psychic right away. Escudero is the Clodsire, so we catch it with Psychic. Let's see how much we're doing. With Psychic, that's close to half. Close to half, but not enough, to be fair. Not enough. Earthquake does not OHKO us. I could just get rid of that right away. Let's see. Overheat should be in KO from here, honestly. Overheat does more than Psychic. It should be in KO from here. So let's go for that. You should know now that I'm timid, not anything. Like I said, Earthquake doesn't OHKO me. Earthquake does like 77 to 91, so even if that doesn't work out in my favor, I don't get the roll, I miss, I don't know, something like that. But if I get the roll and I get like, for basically nothing, I get rid of the Clodsire, that would be awesome. I don't get the roll, sadly. What do we see? Recover? Might just be a recover. Yeah, that's a recover. Okay, makes sense. Sadly, don't get the roll. Want to try to get the roll, sadly didn't get it. But most likely he's recovering again. Could just go into... Scizor set up is a bit too early since he does have the Rotom, which is annoying. I think just going to you is good. If you want to set up hazards, I can Rapid Spin right away. Ice Spinner does way too much to this thing as well. And we can go from there. Let's see who it's there from. Okay, did stay in. Like I said, I don't know yet if it's unaware or the or Water Absorb. Water Absorb makes sense for AZU. Unaware makes sense for, of course, my setup stuff. But he's unaware. I can spam. That means I can spam Overheat without really losing much with this. I'm Rapid Spinning right away. Yeah, let's go for Toxic, but that's fine with me. I am faster than Clodsire, which is fun. Let's see. Do we see Toxic? We do see Toxic. Okay. Recover. Rocks. Toxic. Toxic. So now he doesn't want to stay in on Ice Spinner. His switch into that is the Slowking, so I'm gonna pull the double into my Chi-Yu again. Other switch-ins into Ice Spinner is the Bishop Mon. Yeah, so he's definitely gonna double here. Switch out, so I'm double in Chi-Yu. Trying to catch the Slowking or the Big Bishop Boy. What's the name? What's the name of Big Bishop Boy? I have Bishop written on my cheat, but I forgot the name. Let's see. Yeah, so that switch out. Like I said, should be Slow King or the Bishop Boy. So this should all work very well. Kenny is most likely the Slow King. And yeah, I have no reason not to fire up Dark Bolts here. No reason not to fire up the Dark Bolts here. Depending on set, he might live that. Depending on set, he might live that, but I do good damage to everything. And get rid of Slow King, I take as well. Like I said, depending on the set, he lives that. I live his serve as well, though. So I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling fine with this double. Does go just stay in. You might even get a flinch. That does a lot. And he just serves. Okay. Should not be able to kill me. Is able to kill me. Okay, so he's offensive. Because Surf, that's... Oh, he's Life Orb. He's Life Orb, okay. Yeah, that's... I don't know if I want to take that trade. Chiyu versus Slow King. I don't think I like that trade. Because Chiyu is still very good. Now I have to worry about the... but now Slow King is gone. AZU is pretty nice versus his team. So let's just go into that right now. And yeah. Don't know if I like that trade, to be honest. That trade I don't like that much. That trade I don't like that much. I would have loved like 75% from my thing gone for this. I would have loved, but this I don't love. Okay, there's this guy. I should be able to take every hit. And I can just throw off. I mean, after player of Ice Spinner kills the Clodsire as well, so I just throw player off. Even if he Terra Fires, I can Aqua Jet after. So player off just makes overall sense. Escudero just throws at a Clodsire, makes sense. Because that should be in range of Ice Spinner after that, yeah, for sure. Like this player off even does basically all the damage I need already. But yeah, now that the thing is gone, my AZU is just looking very nice. That Slow King is gone. But even like Life of Slow King was bad with AZU either way. So I need to Ice Spinner, in case he's Water Absorb. Don't have to risk anything. And the Clodsire is gone as well. So now we can spam electric moves. Now we can spam Double Shock without a worry in the world with our Scarfer. So currently looking decent. Currently looking decent. Even though we lost the Chiyu, which was not planned for sure, still looking decent. Still looking decent. Mousehold is the only thing which can really threaten me, I think. Can it threaten me? Mousehold. Avalok for sure takes the hit. I do have Snacklehead still as well. Yeah, Mob kills me if he gets all the hits. Artorias is this guy. Okay. Is this guy. Supreme Overlord, he gets some boosts there. I am faster. Sadly don't have the fighting move. My play rough versus what's this? What's the name of this thing? What is the name of this thing? I need it for the calc. Wait, I can check here. Where it is here? It is King Gabbit. There it is. King Gabbit. King Gabbit. Calc. Let's throw up calc versus standard. Player of does around half. What do we do with me? You probably Ironhead versus me. So let's just switch into you, honestly. Good SD as well. Yeah, I think going to you is the best bet. Just scared out of close combat. Scared out of close combat, I think it's the best bet. That's the Ironhead, we take that. Boom, does way too much damage though. Dang boy. Dang boy, that does way too much damage. King Gambit, Ironhead shouldn't... Is it banded? That should be banded. Banded damage. That did... with 2 fallen, 2 at least fainted. Yeah, that's choice banded. That did 91? Yeah, that's choice banded. Okay, he's choice banded into Ironhead. That means I can scam out of close combat, honestly. I could revive a blessing something. My Chiyu. Yeah, I'm revising my Chiyu. I want my Chiyu back. I want my Chiyu back on the switch. He goes back into Windy, which is fine with me. We revive blessing our Chiyu back. And all is looking good. We are back at 6 members. And now, let's see. World Switch is a thing. A lot of things are a thing. I'm just going to Snacklehead, I guess. Probably the best thing I can go into here. Okay, but choice is a problem. He's choice banded. That means it's more difficult for him to sweep, of course. Because Sucker Punch spam is more tough for him. Let's go for Air Slash, so that works out great. Do I want Rocks or do I want Assault Cure? Looking at his mons. I do like Staff Rock. Assault Cure. I do like Staff Rock. I do like Staff Rock. do enjoy Staff Rock. Slash and Volt switch. Slash and Volt. Still need is healthy enough to deal with Mouse Hold potentially. But we are back at 6 members. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. This Volt switch plus Thing combo versus my Knuckle stack. Where do we have Rotom? Fan. Probably not max special attack, I'm assuming. Let's see, I need to see my HP. Artorias, that's the Gambit again, right? Short Cure there would have been awesome, to be honest, but he can just Iron Head spam. He can just Iron Head with my team. Because it does way. I have resist to that, but it does way too much. So that did around 454. The thing of I could be max special attack, depend if he got lower rolls. But okay, Iron Head. Iron Head. I could go to Scizor on that. Could sack something as well. To Dark moves, I could go into AZU. AZU, what are you good for? In case he Terras, I need you still for Aqua Jet, yeah. Scizor. In case he doesn't Terra, I need you. Avalax still good for that. You are just revived. Everything is nice. Everything's good. You got rocks up. You're still can still switch him potentially into Flutter Main, potentially. Depending on stuff. But I think it's just best to stay in. I don't want to waste anything else. That's just goes Iron Head. Okay, could have gone to Scizor. But now, let's see what we want to do. You're just going to Chiyu, honestly. Let's kick a fire move, right? Yeah. Just go to Chiyu here, kick a fire move. Because what is switching into fire move? Nothing. We just kick overheat. He just get over. Slowking is gone, Cloudsire is gone. He has no switches to overheat. No switches to overheat. Something dies here. If Rotom dies, that makes Scizor way better. If Mousehold dies, that means I don't need to keep Avalok around. If this dies, that also Flutter Main dies, that means I don't need to keep Scizor around. Wimdy, okay, Sax Rotom. So that means Scizor just got a lot better. Oh, he wasn't even, okay, he's probably was maybe Scarf, but Scizor just got a lot better. Boom. Goodbye, Rotom. Okay, looking good still so far. He has Munchmeter faster than me. He has Flutter Mane and Mousehold. I still want you around to be able to deal with the... Okay, it's rocks on that. You are still... I need stuff which can revenge kill this guy. In case he terrors, I need you. Avalok is only useful for... I still got you from Mousehold potentially, but still, and you for close combat spam. I think Letable is the one to go at this moment. Letable is the one to go at this moment, I think. I think. Or is it Chiyu actually? Because on the Moonblast I could go into you, then on Terrafire, I could switch onto you. I think that's what to do. That's okay. Let's be fancy. I go into Scizor on the Moonblast, and then on the most likely Terrafire I switch into my AZU. Let's see, Flutter Mane, Moonblast. Yeah, that is. That's way too much damage, most likely. Yeah, way too much. We've seen what item do we see? We see Life Orb. Good to know. LO. Moonblast. I get leftovers back. Now we switch back into AZU on the most likely Terrafire. Doesn't have to happen, but does happen very likely. Yeah, there it is. Like, Terrafairy wouldn't make sense there, so I assume it's Terrafire. It goes for the fire move, that means I can spread him out. Yeah, there's Terrafire. Nice. That's going very well so far. Shadow Ball though, okay. Shadow makes sense as well, would kill my Scizor from there. But still keeps my AZU around now. I don't need much damage on this. I don't need much more. Now it takes 25 from Rock, so it's basically in Terra Steel range from my Scizor. So I just Aqua Jet here, don't need to be fancy. I'm trying to predict something. Don't need to be fancy and try to predict something. What was... I don't know for sure what's fair. I don't know the speed of King Gambit yet. That's what I was thinking about. It's like, did anything move before King Gambit did? But no, either switched in, took way too much, had my Scarf in, or my Snacklet was slower than King Gambit, that we know of, but that was of course the case. So expected a fire move there, but Shadow Ball of course makes sense as well, would kill my Scizor from there. The main reason is he Terra-Fired, so my Scizor can't kill him with Bullet Punch. But now if he comes back into Rocks, like I can pull out card right now, Scizor, Terra Steel. Do we even need to set up for that? Yes, okay, nice, we get rid of Flutter Mane. Flutter Mane gone. I still have mons which are faster than King Gambit, so he can't Sucker Punch, he can't sweep me with Kowtow or something like that. He would have to try and sweep me with Sucker Punch, but I can work around Sucker Punch. So it's still looking good. Mouse Hold is still a thing, of course. Mouse Hold is still a thing. AZU I don't really need anymore. AZU can use AZU for chip here versus something. Unlouse Hold. There's the mouse. There's the mouse. There is the mouse. This is my main Dark Resist. So if you, I can just close combat with you. Basically win with you, right? Barring, let him tidy up. So I think I play rough so I can kill him with Aqua Jet after. Population Bomb, that's fine. And I he missed what? He misses the first Population Bomb. Okay, yeah, that's super tough for him. That's super tough for him. Like, my plan was to sack this. Go into... I didn't know it was Scarf yet. But yeah, that's super tough for him now. That's yeah. Mouse Hold just so he was probably not, I mean he could have been Wildlands. Could have been Wildlands, but either, like I said, I would have gone trying to go into Power Mod next, go for close combat, either kill this or combat. If it turns out he's Scarf, kills my Power Mod. There's this, yeah, like we know it's Bandit, so can try to do some shenanigans, but won't be able to do too many shenanigans. He's super strong right now. We can find out if I'm faster with AZU. Yeah, goes for Sucker. Does not kill me. Play rough. Yeah, and like I said, it does the... What I want to say, what you call it. I can just go for Aqua Jet, I prioritize him, see if I'm faster, if not. Yeah, differential doesn't matter, that's what I want to say. Differential does not matter. So, this is the semifinals, so I don't need to play around here. Let's go into Avalok and click Body Press. If it turns out he's not Choice Banded, I can go from there. Then I have to worry a bit more. If it turns out I'm miscalced the whole time, and he's not Choice Banded. No, he is Choice Banded, so Sucker doesn't kill me. I go for Body Press, and I kill him. And that is a GG. Yeah, the Mouse Hold just missing on the first one. That's tough for sure. That's tough for sure. If it was Scarf, it could have been still something, but if it was not Scarf, then I just won with Power Mod, and then I kill him, and then I still have all my mons versus the King Gambit. So we do win right here. We do get into the finals. Sounds just very funny that Mouse Hold misses the first one. I never saw that before. But yeah, that's all from me. If you did enjoy, if you are hype for the Borussia Donphan coming into the finals of the PBA first season, the first league of me as a coach of the Borussia Donphan, and we are in the finals of the league. So that's very exciting. I hope you enjoy. If you did, of course, leave a like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal. Check out my opponent's channel, link in the description, and I will see you another time. Ciao.